Paul, thanks very much for joining us. Tell me a little bit more about the company, when you were founded, and also what the strategy is.
Well, good morning. Civitas Social Housing PLC was formed in November 2016. We listed on the stock exchange in London. We raised £350 million from over 100 institutions in the UK. And we deploy that capital into social housing only. So far we've deployed around 600 million of capital across England and Wales. We have just over 3,500 tenants. And the focus of our housing is for those with a care need, such as a learning disability, autism, or other dependency, or stepping down from the NHS.
Is there a strong operating part to that? How does that work?
Yes. So we have full repairing and insuring leases for every single one of our properties, and those leases are with housing associations. We have 15 housing associations that we work with currently, and every single tenant in every single property also has a care need, so we work with over 92 care operators across England and Wales.
And in terms of the strategy of the company, how do you see that developing? Is there enough within, I mean that's quite a niche environment.
Yes.
Is there enough within that niche to keep you busy for a long period of time? How do you see the company growing?
Well, we have 3,500 tenants now. It's very clear from the recent MENCAT report that the demand is growing significantly at 5% a year, because the government has passed a Care Act that says that anybody with a particular learning disability should not be living in an institution. And also MENCAP has estimated that 50% of people with a learning disability are living with someone over the age of 65. So there are tens of thousands more homes required in the community, but also the Civitas investment strategy allows us to invest in other parts of the social housing, and you'll know that the wider figure is that there are 4 million people waiting for social homes in the UK. So I think we've got a very considerable area of opportunity to invest in.
And in terms of other businesses, REITs investing in that area, you're certainly one of the first movers on that, and it's still relatively unique territory, I think.
Yes, I mean traditionally social housing has been funded by the taxpayer in the UK. That's recently changed. There's been a considerable amount of bank lending into the sector, but not much equity. Civitas was the first product to bring to market private capital into the sector. There have been one or two others, which is great because there's a very significant opportunity there. But we are the biggest at the moment. We have first mover advantage, and that has allowed us to maintain a very strong pipeline, good pricing and high standards.
Paul, congratulations on winning the Outstanding Contribution to Society Award that EPRA gave last night. Tell me a little bit more about why you're interested in that area, and what it is about the project or the company that you think made your bid special.
Well, we're delighted with the award, and we'd like to thank EPRA very much for giving it to us. I mean, really, the core of Civitas is about social impact. Obviously, we're investing in the social housing sector. Every single person that we provide housing for is vulnerable and is very dependent on high quality of care. So we're absolutely passionate from day one that everything had to be very high quality, sustainable for the long term. But we've also improved standards in the sector. We've brought through a set of principles for our partners to work with us on to ensure that the quality continues to grow. We also measure independently our social impact through the Good Economy Partnership. One of the things that they found recently was that 40% of the housing that we've acquired so far within the strategy wasn't in the social housing sector prior to us acquiring it. So that housing is now part of the social housing sector, regulated by the regulator, and it obviously provides long-term secure and stable housing for our customers.
From your point of view, Paul, why do you see it as important to promote social infrastructure within the wider industry context?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a key concern of our investors. We've had fantastic investor support. Pretty much every investor that we meet, we've got over 150 institutions involved now, are very concerned about ESG and about social impact, and are pleased that we're measuring it independently and hold us to account for those things. And I think our reading is that there's an increasing interest with obviously generations changing in social impact investing. So we see it as a really important part of what we do, but also a big opportunity in terms of raising additional resources for the future.
What's the next step for you, having won the award? How will you build further from here, and what are your key aims?
Well, I think that, obviously the award, we were delighted with the award, but it doesn't end there. In fact, it's really the beginning. At the moment, we have a number of partnerships with considerable nationwide charities such as Crisis, the homelessness charity, the Choir with No Name in the UK, and talking to other significant charities about how we can support their activities. Obviously that's partly financial, but mostly about intellectual firepower in terms of connecting them to the institutional markets and seeing how we can help bring the full weight, authority and skills of our team to improving the housing conditions in the UK.
Great. Thanks very much for sharing kind of your views on the company, what the strategy is, and also congratulations again on winning the award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.